Hey guys, Slysssa here, and today I'm going to talk to you guys all about the current state of mana pools. If you're wondering to yourself, what's a mana pool? Well, a mana pool is a collection of cards that all have the same original mana cost. So if I were to say the 10 mana pool, I'm talking specifically about all the cards that started at 10 mana. Why does this matter? It matters because there are many cards that produce random minions based on the current mana pool, whatever mana pool they're in. So let's talk about what those cards are first, and then we'll get more into it. The newest cards that use a mana pool would be Conjurer's Calling. Conjurer's Calling deletes a minion, destroys a minion, then creates two minions of the same mana. There's also Power of Creation. Power of Creation is a mage spell that summons two minions at 6 mana. So you create two 6 mana minions. There is also Exotic Mount Seller. That's a new one from this current expansion. That one has, whenever you cast a spell, you get to have a 3-cost beast. So that's very specific, 3 mana minion. And a beast. Big Bad Archmage is new this expansion. It's a minion, costs 10 mana. And when you play it, at the end of your turn, you get a random 6 mana minion. There is also the card Mutate from the newest expansion. Mutate is a 0 mana spell that transforms a friendly minion into a random one that costs 1 more. So you're saying, hey, I have a 6 mana minion on board. I'm going to mutate it, and it's going to become a 7 mana minion. Other cards that already did this from previous expansions are Unexpected Results. That is a spell that you get 2 minions that cost 2 mana, and if you up your spell damage, you get better minions, 3 mana, 4 mana, so on. Astromancer is another card that was from the previous expansions. It's a 7 mana 5/5, and it summons a minion based on your hand size. So let's say you have 9 cards in your hand, and you play Astromancer. Well, once you play it, you'll have 8 cards in your hand, and you'll summon an 8-cost minion. There's also Vexcrow, which is a beast and summons a random 2 mana minion when you cast a spell. A new challenger is a 7 mana spell that summons a random 6-drop minion and gives it Divine Shield and Taunt. That is a paladin card. Big Bad Voodoo is a shaman spell, and you cast it on one of your minions. It gives it Death Rattle, summon a minion that costs 1 more. And finally, we have Heavy Metal, a card I don't get to see a lot on the ladder, but super cool. Heavy Metal is a warrior card that summons a minion based on how much armor you have, but you can't go over 10 armor. So, I mean, you could have over 10 armor, but it would give you up to a 10-cost minion. That's how Heavy Metal works. So, with all these random generating cards, it's really important to know your mana pools. In a game that's filled with RNG, you always want to have a slight advantage over your opponent. So knowing the best mana pool for your situation is super important. We are going to talk about the mana pools today that are 6 mana and higher. We're going to start at 6 mana because 6 mana is super important because there's a few cards that are based off of 6 mana. Again, those cards are Power of Creation. There is Big Bad Archmage, and there's a new challenger paladin card from the past. So I think 6 mana is a really great place to start because of this. So there are currently 56 mana minions, 50. And in the future, there'll be more. So every time a new expansion comes out, you'll have to reevaluate your mana pool. Currently, the 6 manas have 50 minions, and 7 of them are taunt minions. There are 7 taunts in the 6 mana space. And, well, technically, there's 6 taunts. But one of them produces a taunt at the end of its turn, so I'm going to count it as 7. That is 14% of your possible outcomes when you summon a random 6-drop. So 14% of the cards are taunts. Also, 4% of the cards are rush minions. So there are 2 rush minions at our 6 mana. And there's a 4%, wow. I'll just redo that. Also, there are 2 charge minions at 6 mana. So that means you also have a 4% chance of hitting a charge minion. So if you're summoning one random 6 mana card, 14% of them are taunt, 4% rush, 4% charge. The 7 mana pool has 5 taunts, which makes up 11% of the total. There are 45 total minions currently at 7 mana. There's also only 1 rush minion at 7 mana, and there are 0 charge minions at 7 mana. So the likelihood to hit a rush or charge are very small, 2% to hit a rush. I will say that the rush minion at 7 mana is also a taunt, but again, 2% odds to randomly get this minion. So when comparing 6 mana and 7 mana, you can see that 6 mana has some slightly better options if you're looking for a defensive tool like taunt, rush, or charge. And that's super important to know because sometimes players think, oh, I'm just going to go for the bigger option because bigger is better. That's not always the case. Sometimes you need to go for the better tool at your disposal. And in this case, 6 mana is better than 7 mana. I would say right now there's about 7 minions that you'd be really sad about getting through RNG out of 50. So that means there's about 43 that are good. I'd say that the 6 mana minions are pretty good comparatively. Of the 45 cards that are 7 mana, about 8 of them I would say aren't too great, which means that about 18% of the time you won't get a good card off of the RNG. This is higher than the 6 mana. So 7 mana has slightly worse stats in my opinion and has less taunts, less rush, less charge. So from that perspective as well, 6 mana is typically something you'd want to go for over 7 mana when you're evolving or creating a random minion. Let's talk about the 8 mana minions. There are 29 8 mana minions, so less than the 7 and the 6. And of the 29 8 mana minions, 6 of them are taunt minions, which gives you a 21% chance of hitting a taunt minion when you roll a random 8 cost minion. That's really good compared to 6 mana's 14% and 7 mana's 11%. So at 8 mana, you have a 21% shot of getting a random taunt minion if you roll for 1 minion. That's pretty good. If we look at the taunt minions that are 8 mana, they are exceptionally good taunts. I believe there's only one that I would say is a bit meh. The other things about 8 mana to consider is that there are 4 rush minions. That's 14% of the 8 mana pool. And when it comes to charge minions, 8 mana has 2 charge minions. That is 7% of the pool. Alakir, who we talked about already, and Grommash Hellscream. Grommash is a 4/9, and if it gets dinged, it has +6 attack. That's a 10/9. That's insane. It's a good card. So what does this mean? This means that 8 mana, if you summon a random 8 mana minion, 21% of the time you can hit a rush or a charge, which is really good defensive tool. 21% of the time you can also hit a taunt, which is another really good defensive tool. One of those taunts is also a charge minion, the Alakir. So those go together, really cool. So 8 mana is one of the best mana pools currently. So let's talk about the 9 mana pool. The 9 mana pool has 12 total minions. That's not a lot. So the odds of getting each one is a lot higher. There are no taunts at 9 mana though. If you need a taunt, I suggest looking other places because 9 mana does not have any. But there are rush and charge minions at 9 mana. So let's say you prefer rush or charge in the current situation, then 9 mana is for you. There are 2 rush minions at 9. Undasta and the new one, Burly Shovelfist. Burly Shovelfist is a 9 mana 9/9 rush. That's just a good card. There's also a charge minion at 9, one charge minion at 9, and we all know that's King Crush. Overall, looking at the 9 mana minions, a lot of them are just good minions. They're good stats. They can stick to the board because they all have at least 6 health, 6 health being the lowest with Shudderwalk, 12 health being the highest. Now, if we're looking at the 10 mana minions, there are 11 total 10 mana minions currently, so that's not that many. But they're all very good minions. There's nothing too crazy about them. For 10 mana, they're good. I wouldn't try and overextend to try and hit a 10 mana minion, because I would say the 9s and the 8s are just as good. The only real special things I would say about 10 mana is Mulch Muncher. It's the only rush minion at 10 mana. It's an 8/8. So since you only have one, it's a 9% chance of hitting him if it's a random summon. And there is no charge minions, and there are no taunts again. So at 9 mana and 10 mana, be very aware that you cannot get a taunt randomly. They're just not there. The last mana pool I want to talk to you guys about is the plus 10 mana pool. So anything higher than 10 mana. What cards are those? And technically there's 3 cards that are over 10 mana, but one you can never randomly get, and that's Shivala. Meaning that we only have 2 cards to look at. Grave Horror and Mountain Giant. So what does this mean? It means that the 12 mana cards are really good at producing taunts because there's only 2. So for example, if you played a Mountain Giant and then you conjured Callings, meaning you destroyed the minion and create 2 minions, well, the first minion could either be Giant or Grave Horror, which is a taunt. And the second minion could also be Giant or Grave Horror, which is a taunt. That's pretty good odds of getting a taunt minion. There's only 2 to come from, so that's amazing. If you want a taunt, that's where I'd go for. The Giant. I know I've seen a lot of mage decks already figuring this out, running Mountain Giant in their decks, being able to play Mountain Giant early, and then Conjurer's Calling this minion. It's a great strategy. So what's my overall thoughts about the mana pools from 6 mana all the way up to over 10 mana? Well, I would say that over 10 mana is one of the best because such high odds of getting a taunt, and taunts are really good in the game. But the 8, 9s, and 10s are also excellent. 8 mana, really good. 9 mana, really good. 10 mana, really good. I would say 6 mana minions aren't as good, but they are slightly better than the 7 mana minions. And if you're deciding between those, the 6 mana and the 7 mana, I would lean towards the 6 mana, but that might depend on your situation. Do you need a rush charge taunt? Definitely go for 6 mana. Do you need something thicker? Maybe 7 mana. But in my opinion, 6 mana pool is slightly better than 7 mana in the current state of the meta. I hope you enjoyed my review of the current state of the meta pools. If you did, stick around. I'm going to show you guys a game of mine where I got to play Big Shaman versus Control Warrior. We'll see who wins it out. Does my RNG do good or does it fail me? You can find out if you continue watching. I hope you enjoyed the review. Give it a thumbs up if you did. If you didn't, don't give a thumbs down, just leave. Just kidding. But you can subscribe to my YouTube. You can follow me on Twitch where I stream every morning from 7:30 a.m. Eastern on. So every morning at 7:30. Oh my gosh, my dogs. I'm so sorry. I will be online. I also have Twitter and Instagram. Yeah. Have a great day. All right, we're playing Big Shaman to see how some of these cards work and how the mana pool works with that. It's a super cool deck. Let's have some fun. I'm going to keep this Muck Morpher. Muck Morpher is a new card. Summon a random minion from your deck. So, or not summon, my bad. Transform into a random minion from your deck. Now this isn't related to your minion pool at all. Because it doesn't matter about the cost of the minion, but there's other things in the deck that do, like this Big Bad Archmage. The card that casts a random 6 cost minion at the end of your turn. So that's something to consider when considering your minion pool. We're facing a warrior, which I don't know if you guys know this, but there's about 3 main warriors I'm seeing out on the ladder. The 2 main ones of the 2 of 3 that are like very prevalent are Bomb Warrior and Control Warrior. They are different with some slight similarities. Some Bomb Warriors kind of favor control. Some Bomb Warriors favor being a Bomb Warrior aggro-ish. And then there are some control decks that really don't touch the bomb meta at all. So then the third deck that I've seen of Warrior is a Mechathoon. Mechathoon's still around, apparently. So be on the lookout for him. Man, this brawl is going to be excellent. Let's look at the Hagathis schemes. These are new cards in the meta. For every turn they're in your hand, they upgrade. They're currently dealing 3 and 2 damage with their upgrades, but they've been extra upgraded with my Wrath of Air totem. So, alright, so if we Muckmorpher, we're either going to get an Alakir the Windlord, 3 damage, charge with Wind Fury, so it's 6 damage. We could get Walking Fountain. Oh, sorry, it would be 4 damage. It'd be 8 damage total. Walking Fountain is a rush minion with Wind Fury. Very good card as well. We could also get Ysera, which develops value, and we could get Big Bad Archmage. The scary thing is we're playing into a brawl turn, and I put up 3 totems. Maybe not the smartest thing I've ever done, but we are playing into a brawl turn, so we have to consider that. We're also playing into a Wind Fury turn, and so he could Wind Fury and get everything dead that has only 4 health. He would have to trade into this to get the 5th. We'll still do it. We did not get a Wind Fury or a Rush minion. We got Big Bad Archmage. So we're going to get a random 6-drop minion. So really playing hard into that brawl. Ooh. Okay, so we got a Rush minion off of it, but we can't use Rush off of Big Bad Archmage. You can use Rush off of your Big Bad Voodoo Doll, because if it's your turn and you kill off your minion that has the Big Bad Voodoo Doll spell, you get to automatically use the next minion that comes out. So to me, this seems like a brawl turn. He went with the Warpath method. My hand is too full. So he's going to keep the board. I can again use Muckmorpher. It's always best to use Muckmorphers before you have Eureka, because you don't want Eureka a 4/4. 6 mana, give yourself a 4/4. It just isn't the best. So we can charge into one of these, so one's dead, and just put up a Muckmorpher. If we Muckmorpher, we have the same odds as last time. 50% to get a non-attack minion, 50% to get an attack minion. If we get Ysera, are we going to overdraw? 10, 9, 8, 9. No, we will not. So let's see what we get. Dragon. We will spark into that. We can't magnetize it. Not the most powerful turn. It would have been better to get Big Bad Archmage because of Dynomatic. This is an easy Dynomatic turn for him. There he goes. I already see it coming. But it's okay. We keep going. We do have an elemental, which is what buffs with that. This is also an elemental, which would buff with that. So that's interesting. It's not enough, but it would buff it. We could also use Ziliax and the 1. Could also buff the Ziliax and just say, yo, I don't really need another elemental. I'm good. I think that's what we'll do. Because Resilience is quite difficult for a warrior to deal with. Dynamatic's not going to work on it. So you gotta find a different game plan. Oh, he has Gorehowl, so there's a game plan. Gorehowl? What? I thought that was only played in Arena. I'm so confused. Alright, we could just play this, but playing it off Eureka is slightly better. Let's Haunting Visions. Oh! Haunting Visions.
I will not be rushed.
Discover something different, but I think these two are fine. Let's take the Mutate. Ooh, that's a cheap hex. So unfortunately, we're not really developing our board this turn. We're saying, hey, if you want to use that 6 attack weapon, you can kill a 1/1. That's all you can do.
Face me, you cowardly club.
Ooh, my Alakir. Don't hurt him. He did nothing wrong. He did nothing wrong. No, don't. That was mean. It's very rude, man. So he's definitely playing control warrior. He's being a bully too. So we could use this walking fountain to kill that off and then mutate it. Problem is, it's not making the best use of our cards like Eureka. And we don't need the lifesteal, and a 3/8 isn't that scary. I mean, I just don't think it's great in this situation. So it's Haunting Visions again. Eureka! I found something to do. So do we want a Eureka? The thing is, if you Eureka, you have 50-50 odds. We actually really want to hit the big bad Archmage here. So 50% chance. Let's go. It's like the one time I didn't want it. That's okay. We can also consider mutating this. Boom. Boom. And then we can get a 9 cost minion. This costs 8. Let's go for 9. 9 has a charge. Let's go. Oh, we got the mech. The mech is super OP, chat. You guys aren't chat. This is a video. My bad. I'm used to saying chat. But 9/7 mech. They can't deal with mechs. The warrior has to do something like Brawl to deal with this. Or a Warpath. Use your weapon. I didn't totem for that reason. If I totem, then I'm playing into his Brawl. I'm decreasing my odds for this to stay alive. So he has to use 3 cards to deal with this. He's using Shield Slam, Kobold Lackey, and Improved Morale. Are those the 3? No, just the Kobold Lackey, Shield Block, Shield Slam. So that's pretty awesome for us. We're okay with that. Okay. So now, we don't want to play into Brawl too much. We can again put out Walking Fountain and Big Bad Voodoo. If we Bad Voodoo that, we'll get a 9-drop the next turn. Again, 9-drops are really good. There's only 12 of them. Good cards. So it's a really good minion to put it on. And the thing about having a Death Rattle out there is it makes Brawl worse. If I put this out here, it makes Brawl better because now he has opportunity to clear my board. So with that being said, let's do that. And I know this has Rush and can kill this, but instead I'm going to do this. And we've seen no Brawls yet, so there's definitely a Brawl in his hand. He's gotten through more than half his cards. So I could definitely see it coming. Oh man, Omega Devastator is such a good card. It makes me so sad. I got another mech. Oh, that's good. Now I just need Ancestral Spirit to keep that mech alive. Alright. So he needs to do that 2 more times and then he can use his weapon. Apparently he values his face a lot here and doesn't want to use his weapon. So he kind of just wasted a Warpath in my opinion. He could have Warpath a couple more times and then used his face. That's what I would have done. But we aren't the same people. Here I can use Sarah Awaken and then again get out that walking fountain and say, yo, can you deal with this again?
For my glory.
How would he deal with it? He would need another shield slam. And what proved to me last turn is that he might have one. He had a Devastator. That's his second Devastator, which is good for us. I'll go into it. These Hagatha schemes. Really thick turns, man. Omega Assembly. So he needs to just find 3 damage from that. He found 5 damage, unfortunately. He's really valuing that weapon. I find it interesting. Alright, now we have double Archmage. Let's go. Get a random 6 drop. There are 56 drops. Let's get a good one. 6-5, that's a good one. Now we have to consider they run Collider. So if he Colliders, he has to get rid of this Gorehowl he's been holding on to for dear life. So that might be interesting. So he's going to use the Gorehowl. This looks like a brawl turn then. He's going, letting me go wide, then he's going to brawl it out. I don't think it's the best brawl though. But you usually kill a Death Rattle minion before you want to deal AoE. Man, 2 Eureka's still on the mountain. Makes me sad. Alarmobot. Good card. Eureka! Okay, so here's our Eureka. We got 100% odds of hitting big bad Archmage. I like that. So what is this guy doing? At the start of your turn, swap this minion with a random one in your hand. It means he could be losing a battle cry, which is interesting. He also can't use that card this turn, it sounds like. So I'm going to ignore it. I'm not quite sure what he's going to get. And we get a random 6 drop, a charge minion, which is awesome, but you can't use charge minions with big bad Archmage since it happens at the end of your turn. And oh my god! It put out Archivist Slysssa! Archivist Slyssiana, this is my card. According to me and no one else. But according to me and no one else, this is me. It even looks like me. I'm very convinced. Oh no, he took my Ysera. That's not good. Oh my god, no! I only have 1 minion left, which is the one in my hand. I really need Eureka, dude. So I value this since I need minions. We're gonna put this out and say, hey, do you have another Warpath? No, he used 2. And he used is 1 brawl. So you need another brawl. I think he'll brawl. If I totemic call, I'm saying I don't think he's gonna brawl. What would that be good for? Totemic call.
For my glory.
It spends mana, but that doesn't mean it's good. I don't need a spell damage. I might need heals because this does 3 damage instead of the 4. So a heal would be good. And okay, I'll do it for the heal. Oh, I got the heal. What do you know? You ask and you shall receive. Right, you traded out weapons. Gave me a weapon. Oh, and he taketh away my weapon. How dare you, sir? That was my weapon. Oh, well, at least I have armor. I don't know what I'll do with it, but I have it. Eureka! Alright, so if you notice, he is fatiguing faster than me, and normally what deals with that fast fatigue is Archivist Slysssa. And he already played it because he got randomly summoned from his hand because of his Alarmo bot. Unfortunate for him.
Speak to me.
I don't think I can Eureka this because of that fear of Brawl. And we need to consider we're winning in fatigue, so we're going to be playing actually the more control later game. Surprisingly. I don't know how, but we are. Do I value my Hex for some reason? Probably not. I want to get rid of it because of that second Brawl. You don't want to up his odds of winning the Brawl. We do want him to Brawl, though. We don't want him to Brawl these. He's also out of his Omega Devastators, so he can only get those once he gets Dr. Boom online, which he just did. Just a little scary. Oh, and all the armor. All the armor! Alright, so we're just gonna push some damage here. He's been holding on to this far left card the longest. That could be a Brawl. What else could it be? Another Shield Slam, Mega Assembly, Eternium Rover, Collider. Maybe he runs Gorehouse for Collider because he doesn't have the dust to create it. You could also have enough Shield Slam. Did I say Shield Block? Probably that. It's the Brawl I talked about.
Deloa, speak to me.
Just like the main cards. I've seen Whirlwinds and stuff. I'm gonna keep like laying low. Not doing things. Not drawing. Not playing cards. This is a don't play cards game. God, I'm like 5 ahead of him. Oh, if he runs Slysssa, then he also runs Baleful Banker, which is a 2/2 minion. So that's maybe what's that card over there that he hasn't touched. That could be his Banker card that he planned on using on Archivist Slysssa. It just extends your fatigue so that you put in a ton of cards into your deck and that you're not going to die as quickly. Alright, at this point now that he's clearing, I think it's a good opportunity to Eureka. Also get Hagatha, which I didn't. So there's a consideration to Farsight. The consideration is that you have a chance of hitting Big Bad Voodoo or Ancestral Spirit. That is 3 out of my 7 cards, slightly under 50%. The issue is the fatigue game. We're winning the fatigue game right now. How big a deal is it that we get that card? It's a death rattle, so it makes it a lot harder for our opponent to Brawl and kill us.
Deloa, speak to me.
And we can't, once we Eureka, we won't be able to use that card again on the same turn. Because of that, I'm going to do it. We got it. Okay, so let's Eureka. This will give us a minion that costs 1 more. We're going to have to do that on our 10 mana minion. There's a consideration to wait to do it on the minion that comes out, which is going to be a 6 mana minion. So then you get a 7 mana minion, but those just aren't as good. So. Ooh, we got Togwaggle. Free the belly. Hashtag free that belly. I have proposed a nerf on him already, don't worry. Right, so he's going to go for this Collider here, which means I'm going to have a minion on board unless he has another clear in his hand. Hopefully. An 8/8. And this is a great opportunity to Hagatha. because it makes it harder for him to deal with the imp. If you put a minion next to it and he has a collider out, I mean, he could just deal with it. And Hagatha will give us one tiny value with the big bad Archmage. Because that's the only card you can play from hand. Yeah, he's out of Dynamatics as well, unless he has one from a Omega Assembly again. He's only used one Omega Assembly, so he does have another to use to look for that. He doesn't have the hero power up that looks for a minion. He could Shield Slam. He does have one more left. And did he do it? Don't do it. Don't do it, buddy. Leave him alone. He did nothing. He's just a little imp. Oh, he's drawing. He's fatiguing himself. Okay. That's interesting. Huh. This is scary. That's all we can really do. Alright, that does nothing. So bad. Oh, ow, that's bad for us. So now he can just hit here, hit there. He takes 9. Clears and gets a 3/3. Oh no. We still have Reign of Toads. And then we can Earthenmite one and Ancestral Spirit one. He's deciding, can he take 9 damage? If he puts it on a 6/6, then he can run the 2/2 into the 9/7 instead. And not take the 9. It's something he has to consider. Save the best for last. Oh, that card's too strong. It hurts my soul. Look at his face. Oh. Curious why he did that. I'm not quite sure. Maybe he has a game plan for this thing. But my game plan is to beat him down. So I am going to make this re-res. I'm going to hit his face. I'm going to hex this dude here. So he's smaller. And I'm going to... I have so much AoE.
Perplexing.
We do have to save 1 for the 3/3 he produces.
You didn't need that, did you?
Oh god, it's scary. I still have a 9-attack minion on board. So that's cool. And now I can protect him. And go face, because again my opponent's fatiguing, so my job is to be the aggressor in this point. Say, yo, what you gonna do? There's the Brawl. That was the card that was so far left. So sad I didn't get that Ancestral Spirit. Oh no. Oh, minion left. Thank goodness. I have another Earthenmite Ancestral Spirit. My job is to not die. Don't kill me, sir. Don't have 4 attack. I have a 3 health minion, or 3 mana minion. Another Alarmo bot. Wow. So he's gonna take 4 damage next turn. And then he's gonna take 5. So that's 9, and then plus my 2, which is 11. So we're gonna hope that this hits well, which it didn't. Which means we have to do this. Go face. He's taking the 4 damage. He'll take 5 next turn. He didn't hit the armor on his hero power.
Reactor core.
Oh, that's just 2 damage. Oh, he gets healed though. So let's take that away from him. We do have a way. But it means we can't do anything the rest of the game. And we gotta hope he can't heal. Now, if no minions get played, then he can't get heal from Ziliax. So he's gonna take 6 damage and then 7. So that's the 2-turn lethal. So he has to find a way to get a 2-turn lethal on my 38 damage. As of now, I'm gonna guess he doesn't have it. So I'm just gonna let this ride. He's gotta find 1 dinky health. Oh, he can magnetize if he gets the Ziliax, but that's not gonna be enough. If he puts it on the 4/5, that's 7 health. Oh, it would be. Oh! And we win! We win the fatigue battle! Yay! Goodbye, control. That is how you use some of those cool cards from the new expansion that deal with mana pool. We didn't use a lot of them, but we used some of them and it was great.